Okay, all right. I was waiting for the little circle telling me I wasn't live yet. Just kept spinning round, round, baby, right round like a record, baby. So, how are we doing? What is today? Wednesday? Yeah, today is Wednesday. We got hockey again, finally, which is good. I think we need to play some games here. Um, Not going to belabor the point. Apologies for not being here yesterday. I'm going to do this stream as long as I can here today. If I can make it the hour, I make it the hour. Um, I'm not really in any better shape than I was yesterday. Lots of cardiac heart issues right now, but um, we'll try it. We'll see if my body lets me pull this off. So, um, the games tonight. They've got several games tonight. Flyers, Caps, Sabres, Devils, Leafs, and Lightning. So that's good. We play the Leafs tomorrow after they play the Lightning tonight. And Cooper and company should be good and pissed off. Kraken, Stars, Avalanche, Mammoth, Knights, Kings, Jets, Canucks, and Oilers and Ducks. And the good thing is, there's an easy way to tell if we need somebody to lose. If they are in the Eastern Conference and they're not named the Rangers or Devils, we need them to lose. That's it. We're chasing everybody else. And yes, we're chasing the Flyers because though we have 61 points, they have a game in hand on us. So if you see a game and it's got two Eastern Conference teams, we just need them both to lose. If they could get no points, that will really, really help us. How are we doing? So, Colin, yeah, Nosik Kulikov have shed the non-contact jersey. Scientist Bobby switched up his helmet design and pads. Look like he's trying to change the juju. He's just trying to not get traded, don't you know? Don't you know he's getting traded to the Sharks because we're having a fire sale? Don't get me started. Colin, Uvis and Gus are back at practice. Good to see. Bubba's in net tomorrow. And Seth Jones, who was well, we know how this goes with Maurice, right? He says, oh, maybe a couple of days and it's a couple of weeks and it's a couple of months. And then by the end of this week, I suspect Jones will be put on LTIR. And then by the end of next week, he will retire because he's never going to be able to play again. That's just what I expect around here. Nano, good morning from the sweet US of A. Absolutely. So, yeah, Marie said Kulikov and Nosik are not far off. Yeah, exactly what Colin says. Whatever far off means, whatever not far off means. Kulikov, I'd love to see back. Obviously, Nosik. Okay, I like what Schwindt's been doing. Certainly, you'd like to have Nosik back, but we're not making or missing the playoffs based on Nosik. Nano says, I prefer to shut things down at this point. If we can get a high pick, just give it a few games. Give it a few games, right? If we lose, and by a few, I could mean just these two. If we lose these next two games in regulation, you know when to fold them. You know what I mean? Now, if we win these next two games in regulation, and who are we technically chasing? I guess the Bruins. And so they play tomorrow. They play the Jackets. So it's beautiful because tomorrow the Bruins play the Jackets. We need them both to lose. Then Saturday the Bruins play the Flyers. We need them both to lose. You get the idea. So yeah, good luck to us. Shine says, I'm still mad about missing my bet on USA. It's my own fault thinking a Leaf would show up in a big game. You just needed 2 shots on goals from Matthews, and he didn't do it. Yeah, the United States was not. They weren't. Their entire focus, just like Maurice, his entire focus is to beat the crap out of the other team so they got nothing left in Game 7. The entire focus of the roster build for the United States was to win that game 2-1, preferably not in overtime. I don't think they were looking for overtime because McKinnon, McDavid, Makar, you'd kind of assume, but not so much. Hey, David, how you doing? Yeah, I gotta definitely watch it now. It's not pancakes and waffles going on with me right now. But I gotta at least try. So far they haven't killed me yet. Hey, Braves fan, Icy, how you doing? Yeah, you have to win every game. Exactly. Hey, thank you, Kenneth. Member for 24 months. Appreciate you, bud. Jeez, I can't believe I've been doing these videos that long. Hungry says, not far off is that they still live in Broward County. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Still, have I checked out the lines yet? No, sir, I have not. I usually depend on you guys Colin and you guys usually fill me in. Trent says, I'm sorry, Nosek is way better than Schwint at this point. Theoretically, technically, yes. But is Nosek working himself into game shape if he's not completely ready? Is that better than Schwint? If Nosek is ready to be what he was at the end of last season, no problem. Avatar says, let's fold 26 and come back next year strong and healthy. Yep. Burned Oils, good morning, Jaws. Glad hockey is back. The lack of games in the middle of winter was so weird. Yeah. It's been a weird week, obviously. With everything going on they win the medal, and then all of the whole explosion of controversy and all that garbage. It's just been a weird week. Trent says, I was looking at the goalie class. I don't think this class is that strong. Are you talking about drafting guys? Kenneth says, how disappointing would missing the playoffs be this year when you zoom out and you see the whole Panthers 8-year dying? Well, yeah. I mean, like I say, Kenneth, I started this channel because they were so bad. You know what I mean? Like, in 10 years, we've gone from starting a YouTube channel because they were so bad to going, we can't win the cup every year. It's okay if we miss the playoffs. Like, that's a stupid arc. It's just a ridiculous arc. David says, you hear about Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd? They break into a distillery and Bugs asks Elmer, is this whiskey? And Elmer answers, yeah, it's whiskey, but not as whiskey as robbing a bank. I like that. That sounds like something my grandfather would have come up with. Silva, so no Sam Miskevich in the lineup? Huh. So that's not surprising. It's not surprising. I'm an optimist, but I'm a realist. I would love, and I would have loved, and I would still love for Sam Miskevich to develop. He had 15 goals last year. The same point, I would be pretending and I would be lying if I said anything other than Vilmanis looks like a much better deal for what the Panthers game is. Like, Vilmanis really looks like just a perfect fit right there. So Sam Miskevich had his opportunity, and Vilmanis just kind of came in and was like, thank you, I'll take that. So it doesn't surprise me. I can't even be fake mad about it at this point, because the kid's had his chances all year long. Like, he had a golden opportunity when we needed somebody to step up, and didn't happen. Doesn't mean it'll never happen. And sure enough, if we trade him, he'll go somewhere and become a 25 goal scorer. but it just might not happen with the way that the Panther system is. Do I see the Oilers Bolts Cup final? I don't know about Edmonton. I don't think so. I don't think Edmonton gets back. The goaltending. You got Colorado. I don't. If I'm making a list, I don't think Edmonton gets past Colorado. I don't think they get past Vegas. Right now, it looks like Edmonton's going to probably finish in second. So they'll be looking at the Kraken or the Ducks or maybe the Kings again. Yeah, I think they win that round, but I don't think they get out of the second round this year unless Vegas chokes up in the first round. And I don't think they'll get past Colorado. No, I don't see that. Tampa, yes, but not Edmonton. Mixed. I probably did not. I checked the emails earlier today, and then I got ahead of myself. But I'll be checking the emails again this afternoon. Oh, you got second place. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'll I have to deal with those emails today. You're right. Mike says Tampa wins the cup, stays in Florida. The 20s will be dominated by Florida hockey, the ice capital of the world. Hey, why not? I mean, Florida happens to be in the country of the United States that owns hockey right now, right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Canadians. David says Tampa always wants to be counted as South Florida, but it's just not. Yeah, no, Tampa is not South Florida. I'll agree there. Yeah, we're still alive. Well, we'll see after tomorrow, after the next couple of games, right? Yeah, no, Mike's not. I mean, Mike, sorry. Bob's not going anywhere. That's my opinion. So it says, I said Schwint instead of Samoskevich by accident. Sam is still in the lineup. Well, is Schwint not in the lineup? Who's the one in the lineup? I mean, I honestly, well, okay. If I could only have two of the three, if Nosek is back, then Schwint would be out. And yeah. Schwint is at 3C. Lundell, Bennett. Where's Rodriguez? Where's Erod? Huh. That's interesting. Greg says, so who did Chucky recruit during this week to come? I don't know, man. I don't know. When I did that video where I talked about the situation and the cap situation a lot for next year, like we talked about, I think on the previous noon stream, we have roster size issues for next year. Like, not everybody's going to be here. You're not going to have Samoskevich and Vilmanis and Schwint and Rodriguez and Boquist. Like, at least two of those players are not going to be here next year. At least two. Because when you come back healthy, Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, and question mark, Lundell, Lusterine, and Marchand. Like, if you think Schwint is your future 4C, that's where you've got him. But the only spot in the top 9 that's there is next to Benedict Kachuk and Samo, Vilmanis. I'm not, and Erod has one more year left too. Exactly, Colin. So somebody's going to have to go, whether it happens now or the summer. Now, I don't think Samoskevich is, generally speaking, going to be a trade that happens now at the trade deadline. And there's two reasons for that. Number one, if we do decide to close up shop and pack it in and start resting the veteran players, obviously Samoskevich would need to be playing. And number two, nobody is banging down the door to get Samoskevich to help them in the playoffs or for a playoff run. So if we're going to move on from Samo, I would suspect that it would be over the summer. And then Kenneth says, yeah, Florida says Boquist is out and he can pick where he goes. Yeah, Boquist is definitely one that you would figure he's going to be gone because he's we're not going to re-sign him. Where would he go? I don't know. I wonder if San Jose could use him. Like, he's not like a Marchand, right? He's not like a guy that you get and he's going to put you quite literally over the top, which I think Marchand and Jones did for us last year. So he's not obviously in that caliber, but he can give you a game here or there and a big goal here or there, right? So maybe if I don't know the intricacies of San Jose's roster, but maybe if they felt like they needed a little bit of bottom six, help for a possible playoff run, that could happen. Boquist has one more. I thought we looked at this and he doesn't, though. I get so confused. Hold on a second. I know yeah, you're right. It's one more year. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, so it makes it a little bit more interesting when you're trying to trade him because he does have the extra year, so it's not like he's just going to be a rental. I mean, nobody that we trade is we're not getting any top picks. You know what I mean? Even if you trade Rodriguez, you're going to get maybe a 3. What do you guys think? A third for Rodriguez if you just say, I don't even think the return for Rodriguez would be worth moving him at this point. And if they're gonna shut things down and rest guys, then guys like Boquist and maybe even Rodriguez too, although he's been here. It's a lot. And Zito said exactly what we've been saying here, where we're taking it day by day. You know what I mean? Like game by game, depending on what the team is going to decide to do. Vincent says, I've pretty much calmed down. I'm just curious. Could they go on a run? Sure, Bob must be in the playoffs, but if he leaves, his team is over, and Barkov should be back earlier. So that might be Marchand's window to rest. But then again, there's no time. Feels like I'm looking at Picasso's crappy painting. So the Jones thing not being ready, that's a problem. Say hi to Mr. Stinky. Say hi to Mr. Stinky there. So the Jones thing, obviously, that's an issue. Barkov looked pretty good. Like we've seen him at practice. He don't look so bad, right? If that guy's hurt, I hate to see him when he's healthy. So there's that. But you wouldn't be able to bring Barkov back cap-wise unless you wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't be able to do it unless you moved several pieces. You'd have to have moved Rodriguez and Boquist to even bring Barkov back early like that. And then I guess you suppose, if they thought Jones wasn't going to come back, and you could put him on LTIR, but then we're not winning without Jones. I mean, Mikola Balinskis, okay. You know what I mean? Now, Greg says if Bob leaves, the $10 million makes an impact. So I'm going to be straight with you guys. I'm going to be honest here with you guys, all right? And understand this is coming from a place of pure exhaustion because I'm not in a good way health-wise right now. But it's kind of pissing me off, the Bob rumors. And the reason why it's pissing me off is because it's just been started by absolute pure opinion and speculation. to me, and I'll go down with the ship. To me, it would be astronomically stupid to make that move. Um, unless Bobrovsky was to say, I want to retire after this season, I want to finish off in the playoffs, go ahead and move me. To other than that, I just, it pisses me off. It really, really does. Um, the dude won 2 cups with us. We don't win anything without him. And this team is in the position it's in because they're exhausted and they're hurt from everything that they've given us over the last 3 years. And I guess maybe I'm old school. Um, you know, I don't buy into the rumors. You know what I mean? I don't buy. It's like a stupid game of telephone. One dude says, I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. And then the next thing you know, every freaking hockey blog in the world is saying, hey, this might happen, this might happen. And then people are like, hey, did you hear that this might happen? And nothing has been said it might happen. It's just one dude's opinion and one sports writer's conjecture about, well, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, if he gets moved, I'll be shocked. I'll be absolutely shocked. I'll be disappointed. I'll be disgusted. I'll be irritated, and I'll probably give myself another freaking heart attack. Okay, if it happens. So, you know, I have felt like he was going to get an extension, and obviously it hasn't happened. And the longer it's gone on without an extension, I've said this before. Um, I kind of get more of the feeling like he's not sure he's coming back. Like I kind of get the feeling like the thought for Bobrovsky was, hey, you know what? I could go out if I could win 3 straight and go out and spend time with my family and be done. I might do that. And so I think obviously now with it not really looking all that great, although we're not out, right? We could come back and win 4 games straight and be 2 points out and be like, hey, guess what? But barring that, the whole when Dan Marino broke his Achilles, when Marino busted his Achilles, some of you are going to remember this. And Scott Mitchell came in and had, I don't know, 3 or 4 really good games for Marino, for the team. The team was still winning some games. Sports talk radio. Everybody calling Neil, everybody calling, all the talk shows. Trade Marino now. Trade him now. Scott Mitchell is the future. Trade him now. Marino he's done. He's cooked. He's useless. Trade him now. Scott Mitchell is the future. And I can only imagine how that narrative would have taken off on social media. So I'm just being straight with you. The Bob stuff pisses me off. Now, there was nobody more critical of Bob in those first few years than I was. But the dude earned the right for there not to be, I don't know, a third of the fan base just really ready to kick him to the curb, regardless of how he's played. Look at the rest of the way the team has played. You saw it at the Olympics. Sam Reinhart's cooked. I mean, like grilled, fricasseed, sauteed in butter and garlic with a little bit of onion and some black olive. Like he's cooked. And a lot of these guys are cooked. Okay. So If it happens, I'm just saying I'm going to be pissed. I don't think it's right. I don't think it should be expected. I think it should just be shut down immediately. And I would love for him to get an extension instead. So that's just me. I'm irritable. I'm pissed. I can't do much without heart palpitations. So take it with a grain of salt. But it pisses me off. Jake says that's the nature of sports fans, especially in Florida. What has he done for me lately? Jake, you're so right. It's not even. It's so right. It's even the opposite way. When in '86 the Dolphins were playing the Browns in the playoffs in the Orange Bowl, the last year that the Dolphins were playing in the Orange Bowl. And the game didn't make it on TV because the fans were like, yeah, we know the Dolphins are going to win. We don't need to go to the game. And back then, if the game wasn't sold out, it didn't get shown on TV. So not just to the point where they get finicky with that, they get spoiled real easy to the point like, you just expected them to win the playoff game. They did win the game though. Nano says, I agree, but we can't sign him again for another 10 million. Yeah, no, we agree there. At the beginning of the season, I had kind of thought 3 years, maybe 7, 8. That's kind of what I thought. Look, I said this before, I say it again. Only really Bob knows. The only one that knows if his play this year is a product of the team's play or age or what combination thereof. Bob knows. Mike says, hypothetically, if Bob is traded, what other top tier goalie is available? I can't find when they're all locked in. Yeah, that's exactly right, Mike, which has been part of my point. We've looked at the free agent goalie market and it ain't, I mean, to say that it ain't pretty is an understatement. Once you get past Bobrovsky, Mrazek, Fedotov, Anderson, Skinner, Talbot, Nedeljkovic, Ingram, Kosa, Quick, Vanacek, Urson, Comesso, Kakinen, we could get him for the name, Tarasov, Maryline, Picard, Matt Murray, Dave Riddick, and I could go on. So the Halavash, I don't know if I'm saying that right. The Minnesota goalie that was so good for was it who was that? I forget who he played for, but he was pretty good. But there's, to your point, no, there's nobody unless we're making a trade. There's nobody unless we're making a trade that makes me go, oh, okay, let's go ahead and blow and Slovakia. Thank you, Hungary. There's nobody that makes you say, okay, we're going to trade Bob now and then go get this guy next year. There's nobody. So, and Cooper Black's, he hasn't even played an NHL game yet. And so I kind of feel like in life, I'll give another little dad speech here. In life, sometimes you make a decision and that's the decision you made. And we'll talk about that in a second, Anthony. That's viable. Sometimes you make a decision and that's the decision you made. And when they traded Spencer Knight, they asked Paul, and you all know, he said the future of the Florida Panthers is Sergei Bobrovsky. So, I mean, that's the decision they made. And all of these guys signed contracts to keep everything together. Barring some miraculous thing like trade, if the Rangers wanted to trade Shesterkin, I mean, okay. I don't know what we're going to give up to get him. Now, Jasper Wallstedt, yeah. We talked about him before. Um, so let's now here's another. This is another guy in the Wild system, which is interesting. 6'3", 214. Obviously, he's playing well right now, 23 years old. Now, obviously, he's gonna be an RFA, right? I assume that no, he has a contract. Wallstead signed to a 2-year, $4.4 million contract extension, and it runs through next season. So, and he'll be an RFA upon the expiration. So I would suspect that getting Wallstead would probably cost us something similar to what, Chicago got Knight for, right? So what would Minnesota need from us? I don't know. You want to give Jones back? Right? You want to give Jones back? And then, you still have to look at it. It's like, okay, Wallstead, he looks good, right? 23. He's got 23 good games under his belt. He's got a 2.72 and a 9.14. If you're trading for this kid, you still need a Bob or somebody like Bob to be the platoon. You can't just throw a 23-year-old kid out there with less than 100 NHL games and be like, here you go, we expect to win a few more cups. So, but I wouldn't mind that, but we don't really. Now, I suppose, let's say we tank and we get one of those top 5 picks, right? Let's say that happens. So would Minnesota be interested in that? Like that pick plus a Jones or something like that? Could that pry Wallstead away? Maybe. So that's one benefit to the possible if we shut it down and get a really good pick. We don't necessarily have to choose a guy, right? We could use that pick to upgrade at a position. Obviously we have to keep the future in mind, regardless of whether we keep Bob or not. We need to shore up that position, unless you believe in Tarasov, and I just haven't seen enough yet. Kenneth says, hey, George, you're going to be all right. You went to a doctor, seeing your post. I know you truly can't pass it, but you're going to, yeah. No, it's all right, Kenneth. I appreciate that. I'm not okay. No, I 100% am not okay. It's a little bit more serious. I can't really, I shouldn't die. If I die, it'll be on camera, so to make for good content. If I die, you bastards better super chat for Kyle. That's all I got to say. But if I die, it'll likely be on camera. I got some issues, and it's I'm doing the best I can to tend to them. The traveling to Florida was a stupid idea, but I had to do it. It's my parents' 50th anniversary. And so I'll just be calm. I just have to be calm right now. I can't get real hyped up about anything. So, I'll be okay. I shouldn't die. I shouldn't die. But let's just say when the doctor saw my blood work, if I did die, he'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. We'll put it that way. Vincent says, saying it again, Bob is not retiring. He's 4 seasons away from his 1,000th game, and he is a starter, so he gets starters money. That's just reality. So all that numbers you need for 4 or 5 year deal. If he's going to do what he wants to do, right? So we said, yeah, the Panthers tank season was a blessing in disguise. We'll see. We'll see. we've got 2 games, and then we've got 3 games. And what I mean is we come back, boom, Leafs, Sabres. You lose them both, you're done. You lose them both, you're done. Okay? Now, after the Leafs and Sabres, if you're an actual, genuine team that's a playoff team that thinks it's going to three-peat, the next games, which are the Islanders, Devils, Jackets, Wings, Jackets, Kraken, Canucks. I'm not saying you win every game, but if we have problems during that stretch, and we're going to know, because the craziness of it is we play on the trade deadline, right? Yeah, we play back-to-back. Boy, that's going to be a busy week. Panthers play the Jackets on Thursday the 5th, and we also play the Wings on March the 6th, and the trade deadline is on the 6th. So, yeah, that's that. If there's any day that's going to kill me, that's the one. That'll be the one, because I know, we usually do a trade deadline stream. We did that last year. We'll do it again, but we actually play that day, which did not happen last year. So, the first 2-3 games, if you lose anything before the trade deadline, it's almost over, Kenneth says, so your health would be better without the Panthers in the playoffs this year? Yeah, I don't know. That's when I make all my money for the year. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm going with the theory of what's meant to happen is what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Vincent says, just if you do plan the whole thing so it's going to be on camera, you got a party, right? It should be. Yeah, it should be. Like the jump up for when I jumped up for the golden goal. And I got up and I went right back down. I went right back down. I wasn't acting, unfortunately. I just about blacked out. Like you see me look at Kyle and my eyes, it just kind of I was weeble wobbly there. I cannot do that. Not right now. Anthony says, Jaws, the rumor that I saw is Montreal really wants Bob and they're willing to give up Reinbacher and Kapanen. If they want to give it to him for a rental and then we get him back, right? There's a lot of rumors, though, Mike says, I'm going to the Kraken versus Panthers game on March 15th. She has private suite there year-round for any event. Only $750,000 for 2 years. Holy crap. Jesus. Greg says, blood work shows a lot. Mine was too many red blood cells and low oxygen levels. They thought it was bone cancer, but it turned out to be sleep apnea. So hope you get a workable fix. Yeah, basically for me, I have a genetic thing from my parents, from my grandfather, my father, where my body responds to inflammation by basically creating extra cholesterol, and it clogs up my arteries. And so unfortunately with the Lyme, I'm in a constant state of inflammation. And so so, and like if you take one thing for one thing, it exacerbates this. It's all like you're saying with the whole with the blood work, my minerals, it was all effed up. It was because like some of the stuff I take from my heart is not good for the Lyme. And so we're getting it under control. It's just been, for whatever reason, I guess it just all kind of came down on me here in these last few months. Mike says, I'll get the seat location soon. Look for the dude with the long blonde hair and the reverse retro 2.0 jersey. Outstanding. He says, well, if that's the reality, Bob's agent might push the Panarin scenario with an immediate extension. I would assume, right? I would assume that anywhere Bob would go, he would want to have. I mean, nobody would give up what it would take to get him without him giving an extension anyway, you would think, right? Have I ever considered red light therapy? I actually have a little one. I used it on Fluffy in his last year. So I do have a little one. Biomax I haven't heard of. There was another company that we were going with for a while that did, they do the workup what's going on inside the cell, not just in your whole blood, but inside the cell. So in that case, we've been giving up too much. I mean, I have a feeling the only things that are going to end up happening is a couple of, like we said, we only have so much space for next season in terms of roster space. I don't know what you do with Sam Iskevich right now, because on his own, it's like nobody is just going to randomly trade for Sam Iskevich. It would end up just being part of a bigger deal, a piece that we would be giving in a bigger deal. And then, because I was starting to look at some of the wingers that we could go out and get next year to put next to Bennett and Tkachuk. And then I thought, well, what if we don't want to go get anybody? Because at some point, maybe Brady would take that spot. That's another consideration, right? Jaws can't stomach Sam Iskevich no more. Oh, I don't have the energy to stick up for him right now. James says, I need 2 more dogs, Jaws, and get back out walking. Boy, what a difference that made, man. I didn't even think about it. I was talking with Donna about that yesterday. It's like I was out there at least 10 hours a week. That's just at the beach and the river. I don't know if I can get more dogs right now, but I'm definitely going to be trying to get back out there once everything melts. Greg says Mackey and J-Bo to the Jets for a hell of a buck. Right? Yeah. Now what's hold on a second. What's his contract? How much is Hellebuyck's contract? So it's 8.5, and it runs through the 2031 season. Beautiful. It's got a no movement clause in the early years. That's interesting. Does he not have a full no move? So from 27 to 30, he's got a 10-team no trade list. So that's interesting. Mr. Stinky is still there. He's just hanging out. Dave says, that's huge, Jaws. Healthy habits are just as good for you as bad ones are. Hit the pound to get 2 rescues and get back out there. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can get more dogs. That's just a financial thing right now. And Donna, not so sure she wants, I don't know. But definitely I need to, I bought Leia a harness so I can get her back, so I can just start getting her out there with me. Dana says it's season ticket holder deadline day to renew. I just couldn't renew with the extra price bump. I heard that it's just gone crazy with the prices. But you win a couple of cups, that's going to be the situation, right? For the owners, remember when they came in those for several years and I know you know this, Dana, but they lost money. You know what I mean? Because they got rid of all the free promotions, and they made an investment and spent a ton of money to do what they did, and now yeah, they kind of need to cash in a little bit. I hate that the prices have gone up so much. Like, what did we pay? I think we paid $30 or $40 to park. I mean, it's cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. But I guess since goalie pads are thousands of dollars and sticks are $400, I guess that's just where we're at right now. You know what I mean? I was looking at pedal kayaks. If you want to get a not a cheap one, but like a discount pedal kayak, it's at least $2,000 for a kayak. I was like, what in the hell is going on? Like, my dad, when I was a kid, he had a 24-foot open fisherman with an inboard outboard, only cost him $3,000. I'm like, does the kayak, is it going to pedal itself? Gwen says, why are we talking about Vassy? Come on, Bolts fans. No need to compare talents. Just remember body. We did beat Vassy twice, but I'll accept that Jeff Blashill is a huge factor. Trent says, I used to think when parking was $5 to $10. Yeah. Well, I remember the game Colin and I, or the whole family, we went to in like 2011. It was like free parking that night. I don't even remember why it was, but it was Panthers and the Hurricanes back when they were terrible. We won that game in overtime, and it was free parking that night. It was weird. But it's like everything else, man. The price goes up, things change. You know what I mean? So we'll be all right. You know what I mean? We'll be back next year. I went into the break not sure about how I felt about our chances, but seeing how the guys were playing at Four Nations kind of looked the same, right? Like Reinhardt still looked cooked. Bennett, not that he was bad. You know what impressed me was Trocheck. I'm not a huge Trocheck fan, but he played well. He was outstanding in the circle. Definitely changed my attitude a little bit about him. He played well. He definitely had a big role. Trent says, how do you think Tampa got good again? All of a sudden, their guys were older than us. Well, I don't necessarily feel like age is the singular factor. The Panthers set the record for the most games played by any NHL team in 3 years. In addition to Four Nations, and where the hell did we take a trip to? Where did we play Dallas to? We went on the international series. Not that that's a huge thing, and just the physical style that they play. And Tampa, I think 3 straight years out in the first round. Like that's enough time for not just the physical rest, but the mental rest. We talked about this in the last stream, right? Like, I kind of feel like these guys are more mentally cooked than they are physically cooked. And so I think Tampa just, because they went to 3 straight like we did. It's just they lost the last one. And then, you lose in the first round. And that was kind of like their year where we're having now, where we're like, hey, you can't go every year, right? And then I think losing 2 more times like that kind of perked them up and pissed them off and said, hey, we're running out of time here, right? You look, the Penguins are still good. They've had some down years, but they still got a chance with Crosby. Washington still, last year they did really well with Ovi. Trent says, do I think we will be like Tampa and not make it out of the first round for 3 years? I don't know. That's a good question. That's a tough one. There's a lot of good teams. Okay. The Canadians are kind of here to stay. The Wings, we'll see. The Sabres, we'll see. The Bruins just had the one down year. And then, I think people would expect more from Ottawa. And then, of course, there's Toronto, who just like it's inexplicable where they are right now. Because, I mean, I know that they lost Marner, but I'm sure that they expected to do better. The point being is like the teams that have been just like the bad teams were the Jackets and the Sabres and the Wings. There's a lot more competition now. It's a lot more even. And do I think they would 3 years in a row? No. Do I think it's a guarantee that we just miss next year, come back and win it again next year? No, a lot has to go into it. I mean, a lot went into the ones that we won. I mean, a little, the puck goes a little bit an inch that way, an inch this way, and maybe we don't beat Edmonton in Game 7, and or if Bobrovsky doesn't stop Marchand in Game 5, we don't play Vegas. Who knows? I mean, so many of these things are just a game of inches. Real says Leafs and Sens fans are going to run Matthews and Brady out of town. Come on, Bill, pick up the phone. Now, that's the only thing I saw because I looked at Twitter for like 5 minutes and I realized that there's a whole other part of the world that lives in an alternate dimension than I do because people have gone Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs over there. It's gone Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. Like I might be like a decrepit old man, but some of these people on Twitter have gone batshit loco coco. Okay, it's wild. That said, if they want to run Brady Kachuk out of Ottawa, come on, we're good. We're good. We'll take you. Don't worry. We got a pillow and a bed for you and everything. Glenn says, I doubt that. Again, you have to factor in Blashill's activity run to ruin good teams. Cats don't have a clown like that behind the bench, poorly coaching the defense. That's true. That's true. Mike says, are we resigned to the idea that the Panthers are not going to make a run to the playoffs this year? I mean, 2 games. 2 games. If we win these 2 games in regulation, I think the hope word would be viable. If we lose them, it's done. Like if we lose both these 2 games, it won't matter what we think is going to happen. It's toast. Hey, Bucks. No, because they don't play today. But tomorrow we play. Tomorrow we play, and we'll be there tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. It's got me scared. Yeah, no, we'll be there for both games. Grant says Chicago had 3 cups in 5 years, win a cup, fell the next year, win another cup. Right. Vince says waffles are better than toast. Absolutely. I eat 3 peanut butter and jelly waffles every morning for breakfast. So not the garbage stuff, though. It's organic waffles, and it's just natural ground up peanuts because that is supposed to be good for my cardiac system. And it's the only reason I'm not 150 pounds because I can't gain any weight. No, Bucks. There are some games today, though, but not the Panthers. They play tomorrow and Friday. The Kings won and missed the playoffs. Did they? I'm not sure. It happens. Hey, look, 3 straight is 3 straight. You know what I mean? Like we all went into the season hoping that, hoping that they wouldn't hit the wall. But, I mean, it's kind of looking like there's no way to sugarcoat it. We're in last place. And there's 25 games that we have left to play in 49 days. Now, for those of you who are only good at Common Core math, what that means is that for the rest of the season, we are playing at a more than one game every 2-day clip for the whole rest of the season. Yeah, cocoa powder, Craig. Yeah, that's something I've used before. That's a good point. In fact, thank you for reminding me. That's on my list of things I need to remember to buy. Yeah. What the heck? Don't fly on me. He's fanning his wings at me over here. Gwen says, guys, for everyone here thinking bad stuff is going to happen just because we're looking at Tampa, you have to remember Tampa hired an idiot. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, look, all I know is they won the gold and good stuff. Good stuff. I try not to pay attention to the rest of the whole thing. I will give one quick story that kind of we call him Stinky, Vincent. His name is Stinky. We call him Stinky. You saw some Canadian podcasters say that Team USA shouldn't be celebrating so hard. Mike says, you're correct. I just read an Ottawa news article that they were crying, saying Brady's behavior after the win was abhorrent. Yeah, so I'll close with this. This is really all I can say about any of it. This is all I can really even say about any of it. And I will share this page. Like, I just don't even know what to think of people anymore. The NHL posted a picture of Dylan Strome with his daughter at Disneyland. Pronoun people were in the replies with unhinged comments about the USA hockey team. Dylan Strome is Canadian and didn't even play at the Olympics. The NHL deleted the tweet. And they show all of the horrible things that these people were saying to this kid. He spent the break at Disneyland with his kids. He's not even, he's Canadian. He didn't even play. And it just shows you the level of arrogance and ignorance. And just how made up 99.9% of all of the bitching and complaining is. It's 100% performative. And it's just wild, man. I don't recognize the world. I don't recognize the world from when I started this stuff 10 years ago. I started a channel because we were having so much fun hanging with Panther fans, friends on Twitter, that I wanted it to grow. And now that place is insane. It really is. All right, everybody. I made it the hour. I didn't die. I'm going to go to bed now. I'm a little bit better today than I was yesterday. I wouldn't have been able to do this yesterday. I'm breathing heavy, but at least I'm not getting lightheaded. That was bad. So I'll be here tomorrow at noon, and then we got games. So that's good. We need games. We need, as a collective, as a family, we need to stop worrying about what is going to happen and just see what's going to happen, because we're not used to losing around here. So it is what it is. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Much appreciation. Thank y'all for hanging out. And I will see you tomorrow at noon.